Alethia's.
Is an innovative and wellness oriented child youth care practitioner, registered therapist, and mental wellness advocate based in Ontario, Canada. Alethia is the recipient of the Raymond Chang Volunteer Award, mentoring Black and students of color in the Tri Mentoring Program TMU in 2022. Alethia is a wellness practitioner in private practice which primarily supports Black communities and people of color heal from stress and trauma by implementing coping strategies that reframe negative thoughts, manage emotions, and improve healthy relationships in order to make better informed decisions and lead with confidence. Her focus is on education, mental health, wellness, mentoring, decolonization, and Afro-centered lens. Alethia's experience extends to EAP and executive coaching, implementing her own MindsILike leadership course. As a psychotherapist, she secures over 20 plus years of experience in social services, clinical support, consultation, and facilitation. She is a certified restorative justice mediator, assisting individuals, families, and the community in healing from trauma. She offers healing circles for frontline staff who experience vicarious trauma, working with residents facing poverty due to mental health addictions. Alethia possesses extensive experience utilizing various theoretical intervention models, cognitive behavior therapy, DBT, mindfulness, mediation, restorative justice practices, work-life balance, and therapeutic paperwork. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alethia Cadore.
Welcome, Alethia. Oh, we can't hear you.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We have people joining us from all over the globe, different time zones. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, wow, fantastic. I just want to say thank you to the Soul Reset community and also for me for inviting me to this platform. And I just want to say congratulations to her on releasing her book. It's fantastic.
All right. Let's move right straight into it. You work with Black communities and people of color, and obviously that will require you looking at things from an Afrocentric lens. Why is it important to use this approach, and why are you centering on Black culture, Black history, and Black community?
Yes, I just want to say that Minds I Like really centers itself on healing the Black community. And we like to identify with other communities. However, our primary focus is understanding that we are from a continent of people that have cultural traditions, they have values, and they have strict beliefs that are fundamental to raising their children, their identity, and their own sense of belonging. And I find living in this community, we do not get the full understanding of who we are as people. So I felt that I needed to center my practice on understanding that I am from a family, a generation, and a history of people that have been doing great things. And because of the fact that we were enslaved as people, we were suffering a lot of trauma, a lot of stress, and a lot of disconnection from who we really are. And in order for us to center ourselves and get back to ourselves, and we talk about Sankofa, of going back to where we came from, that we have to understand our history. And I find that that was lacking living in this part of North America.
Okay. So, do you see, especially with the changing times, the generations are so different? And I imagine that you have to
Mhm.
deal with people of different generations. What is the most cost effective DIY habit or activity that anyone can use to consistently take care of their mental health in your experience and from all of the interactions you've had with these different generations?
That's amazing to hear that it's so important for us to go back to our history because there were specific cultural practices and
Mhm.
holistic practices that we used to use as people and as a community to heal ourselves. And I find that some of that information was lost. And through the research that I've been doing, through my own background of being Caribbean, and living in Grenada, and also for my family and community that identifies as African, that we already had ways and cultural knowing and being of how to heal ourselves. So I wanted us to reclaim what we already know by honoring what we do in a space so that when we come together, we would be able to honor those past traditions and cultural practices by tapping into that history and information from our elders. And then also what we do today, which is to combine some of the things that we know here through the education and learning, and then also find a space that we can have various different age groups share and connect with one another about some
Mhm.
of the things that we do that really identifies us and really grounds us and centers us in our wellness. And the
Mhm.
only way to do that is to learn from what we did in our past through our elders, but also create space for people that, for young people and people that are in their middle ages to share and just connect with one another on some of those activities that we do. And when I'm talking about activities, I think one of our previous presenters and speakers had already mentioned some activities, but these activities have already been scientifically proven that it helps you relieve stress. It helps you center and ground yourself so that you're able to have more clarity in the decisions that you make and lead with confidence. We have to create some time in our schedule to give ourselves a break so we can replenish and
Yeah.
restore our energy.
Okay, let's talk about the work that you've been doing with Minds I Like in Toronto. Um,
Yes.
Removing the police and creating a team that successfully takes that law enforcement out of dealing with issues that have to do with people. Why was this necessary to do that? Why was it necessary to remove law enforcement? And then what kind of unique, safe, and long-term support does this team now provide for the community after the crisis is over?
Okay, so I just wanted to preface the whole question. And there was a call to action during COVID, and there was a murder that occurred. And George Floyd really changed the way that we connect with law enforcement. And part of the committee that I was a part of, the committee had looked at the fact that we can support people in the community by having clinical people support people that look like us to address those concerns. We
Mhm.
felt through the studies and also interviewing people in the community through various walks of life. Maybe they had contact with police in the past, or maybe they had a family member that had contact with police during a mental health crisis, and things did not go well.
Yeah.
So there was a call to action to really investigate when we have police intervention. And we found that if the situation was something that the community can support and handle, you would have trained clinicians and trained professionals respond to crises in the community, build a relationship with the community so that people would feel more comfortable seeking out help because they know that there isn't going to be any criminalization attached to them seeking help. And usually, when someone is causing a disturbance in the community, that's the first thing that comes out is to protect the community's safety. However,
Yeah.
the other way to protect community safety is to have responsible people that are trained
Yeah.
in mental health to
Yeah.
respond to people that may be suffering a distressing moment or time in their life and they just need some support. They don't want to be criminally charged for them feeling distressed in their own community.
Right. You talk about the people who are trained to help others, these frontline
Mhm.
staff. What is the best advice for people who dedicate their lives to helping others? Because they're taking on a different role, doing that. So what's the best advice? How do they know when their personal well-being is empty for them to be able to replenish and then pour back into other people?
Wow. I mean, for someone that's been practicing in the community for almost half their life, I think that, the fact that you love people and you want to see the best for people, we've all gone through our own ups and downs and our own challenges. And that's why I really support being around community, because I know that community healed me. And knowing that I was around people that looked like me, that aligned with my values and my ideas, and they had the minds that I liked, that's why I was able to create an organization that gives back to community. But on the other hand, in terms of just identifying, there's a lot of things that weren't um, provided to us as a community when it came to information, when it came to us healing and acknowledging ourselves and giving us the space that we need to do that in a safe way. So for me, when I connect with people that are doing therapy, people that are coaching, people that are inspiring others, I know that it gives me the energy to continue doing the work that I do. I know that people are healing because they're coming back and they're letting me know, hey, I really appreciate the things that you're doing for me and the things that you've supported me along my healing journey. And I just
Yeah.
wanted to let you know that it was really impactful for me. And when I hear that, I know that my light has really helped others to shine. And I know that they can see that even though they were going through a challenge, it's in the past and it was hard to get through, but they sought my help and the help of others that are supporting others in their community. And we know that once we've gone through it, that is the testimony.
Yeah.
And then through that testimony, you're able to help others. So I find that just being in that light and sharing that light with others and them absorbing it and being to help someone else, I feel that I'm living in my purpose. So I just want people that are continuing to do this job, that you're doing it for a reason. You were called to your purpose. So continue to shine your light. And if they need support, feel free to reach out to me, because not only do I help others, I also support therapists that also may need someone to speak to about the challenges and the vicarious trauma that we go through when we're affected by other people's stories. So I want them to know that they also have someone that they can reach out to
Okay.
and speak to.
Thank you so much, Alethea, for sharing all of that knowledge and just knowing that you have this capacity to reach out and also to be reached is amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the Soul Reset Summit. And we know that there's a mental wellness giveaway that we're going to announce for this Soul Reset Summit. For everyone
Okay.
who is in attendance, you have a chance to get a free once weekly therapy session from MindsILike, championed by Alethia Cadore. And this once weekly therapy sessions are available from October 2025 to April 2026. It is open to residents of Ontario and Quebec provinces in Canada. So it's Ontario and Quebec provinces in Canada. You have to be between ages 15 and 55. To qualify, you have to take the virtual soul clinic quick scan and book a free support coaching session. The support coaching session with the Virtual Soul Clinic is a 15-minute free therapy session. And then you can qualify for the once weekly therapy session from Minds I Like. Thank you so much for this gift, Alethea.
Thank you so much. And I just want to people to know that I have my amazing mentored students that also support the community. So you'll also have the opportunity to connect with one of my amazing therapists.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on the summit today and for sharing
Thank
all
you
of
for
this
having,
knowledge with us.
thank you for having me. And in light of World Mental Health Day, please do something good for yourself. You chose to be here, and I thank you for being here. So please do something good for yourself. You deserve it.